the eyes have it. Mike, with your hair. Um, people talk about when people are playing poker, a person will have a tell. In other words, they'll do some action that kind of reveals whether they have a good hand or not, or if they're bluffing or not. Might be, an ear thing, or rubbing, whatever it is. But I've noticed something similar to that with eyes. And where I've come up with this is we watch a lot of these cooking competitions, my wife and I. They're fun to watch. They're not, gory or objectionable material or whatever. So we watch them quite a bit. And what I've noticed is that, okay, this works best when there's a competition and there's two people left. Maybe they've had some rounds they go through, but then they have the two people left. And then the winner is going to be announced. Well, if they keep the camera on the judges, who are going to say, the winner of the competition is, well, they don't keep their eyes straight. What I've noticed I would say that I could predict between 80 to 90% who the winners are by seeing the eyes on TV. Now, obviously, they don't always show it all, or cut it or something, but basically what will happen is that I'm going to say, I'm here to, and they'll look at the winner, then they'll come back, and then they'll look straight ahead or at the other person. But it's almost like automatic. Once they say, we're going to do winners, that those eyes go over into the person. So you got to know who's on the right and who's on the left. But I found it really fairly accurate, like I say, sometimes 90% to figure out, who's going to win this, who's going to be awarded the thing. Of course, it isn't completely bias free because I've watched the whole show, and I might have some idea what type of things they're cooking, who's going to win based on how well they do. You watch it and things, but I think even if I just saw the end clips, you could do that. And like I say, watch a show like Beat Bobby Flay. I've been watching one. Oh shoot, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, Man versus Child. This is a neat series. It's a cooking show, and these kids, including like an 11-year-old, right? And sometimes they have one even younger. There's like 5 of them, and there's an actual chef that has, can certainly brag about some of their competitions, and they're going to go against one of these people. So at the end, you've got the 2 people, and like I say, the judge will say, and the winner of our competition is, and you can tell it's whoever's on the left or whoever's on the right, depending on where their eyes went. So I was thinking this could be very interesting in criminal investigations. Let's say you've got someone you've arrested for drugs, and you have a reasonable idea who they're getting their drugs from, but you need to have some kind of statement, or maybe you don't know exactly, but you know who the players are. What you would do is you could have a large TV screen, and on the TV screen you could show, let's just say we have a group of 10 people, and in that group of 10 people, there's maybe 6 people who have sold drugs in the past. Maybe we throw in some other people that are not connected to it at all. But the idea would be, you would say, you'd have this monitor in front of them, and it's got a camera. Well, they wouldn't realize that camera is actually going to eye tracking software, which we have and is very accurate. So as you're saying, well, are you buying your drugs from, you could have numbers, number 1, number 2, and you'd go through this thing, but the thing that you'd be looking for is this idea that someone would keep looking back at the person who did it. Or, likewise, they look at everybody except that one person. They've got an idea what's going on, and they try not to react, so they purposely don't look at it. And I think that would work to some degree. And it's similar to, Kreskin, the amazing Kreskin was a mentalists, he called them. He did all these tricks that some of them you could claim you have psychic powers, but he was always clear that these were just tricks and different things that he learned how to do. And one of the things was his paycheck would be in the audience somewhere. The audience would know where it is, but he wouldn't. He'd take the hand of someone and walk around with them and find the check. How did he do it? He was not just holding the wrist of the person, he was feeling their pulse. And he could tell the pulse was going up as he got closer to the goal, which was a paycheck. And of course, the goal of the contestant was do not reveal where it is, but I guess he did it tons of times and he always found the check. But I do think this could be valuable for other things as well. They do eye tracking software. They've done them for handicapped people to operate computers that they are in a communication device. Say you're basically paralyzed, but you're conscious, and you can move your eyes. Well, they'd have a board with all the letters or images or whatever, like time to eat, I need to see a doctor, all of these things. And the person could, by looking around, tell what they wanted, because the eye tracking software would look and it would know where it stayed a little longer than the other, and it would work. Let's say we have someone that has hidden something somewhere. Again, like say in Gorham, we got a town map of Gorham. And we just go through some of the streets kind of casually saying, well, is your cache, your survival man cache, with all your MREs and knives and guns and, everything you need to survive the apocalypse. Is it on Spiller Road? Is it on Main Street? And you'd go through this thing again with a number of them, but you really wouldn't be, what you'd be doing is watching the eyes. This would all be recorded too, so you could analyze it and go over certain things. I think you could find, what street it was or what area the thing was in, and it would certainly shrink down your search area. So I don't know. The eyes have it. I just thought that was interesting. I guess there's a lot of other things people do when they tend to lying, and some of it is they look up, they look down, or different things like that. But I think this eye tracking software could be used in some type of investigation process, and it would be, what do I want to say? Low impact questioning. That isn't the right word, but the idea that the person doesn't realize what's being done to them. They're just sitting there. They're looking at pictures. And there's a computer screen. They've seen a ton of them. And sure, it's got a built-in camera, but you're seeing images on it, so that camera can't be going to somewhere else. Oh, yes, it can. And then you'd get the software which superimpose these, again, the 10 photos of the people, and would show, or maybe even tabulate for you, which person was looked at the most, maybe which was looked at the least. And again, if that took your field of 10 people, even if it just took them down to 2 or 3, that would be a big help in the investigation, because then you're putting your resources into 2 or 3 people rather than 10 people and trying to figure out what's going on. So there you go. Remember the Kennedy technique when it's written up in forensic books all over the world. Bye.